Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're smoking on my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. We flying back over to Canada, but not with the best news. We got Melanie, is it Joly saying how Canada and the U.S. relationship will never be the same. A lot of people are feeling like with these tariffs, and with Canada announcing that we're no longer an ally, uh, that is just we just won't be able to go back. Do I? I mean, I don't believe that, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm not as there's other people that know a lot deeper than what I know, way deeper, and they can see what's going on and how much this will really affect both sides to the point where it'll never be the same. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. Um, Original link in the description. Here we go, yeah.
Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly says the relationship between the United States and Canada will never be the same again after President Donald Trump announced sweeping new tariffs.
They want to do things differently, and we understand that. And that's why we will seek to make sure that we get to an agreement on trade, but also on security, because both cannot be siloed.
She made the comment to reporters while attending a meeting of NATO foreign ministers in Brussels. Joly adding that a deadline should also be set for Russia to agree to a Ukraine ceasefire, saying that there had to be consequences if Russia does not agree to a ceasefire proposal.
So, y'all feel like Russia gonna agree to that ceasefire? How y'all feel about that? Right now, I'm reading how do these tariffs pretty much affect us average citizens. It says while many people own stocks and shares directly, most people's exposure to stock markets come through their pension plans. There are two types: defined benefit schemes, which guarantee a fixed pension income, and defined contribution, where your pension pot rises and falls with financial markets. That may sound like defined contribution plans are very vulnerable to the sell-off, but not all of your contributions go into shares. Much of the money goes into safer investments such as government bonds. These tend to increase in value when stock markets fall, as they are seen as a safe haven along with other assets such as gold. And then it says that is exactly what has happened here. Government bonds have risen in value, and that can offset some or all of the fall in shares depending on how your pension savings are allocated. Right here it says, here's what could soon cost you a lot more due to the tariffs. Well, we'll get to that after the video. Let me finish the video off for you guys.
We understand that President Trump is taking decisions for his own administration and his own people, but he also respects strength. And we've made sure that there were counter-tariffs on American products back in Canada. We are now at $60 billion worth of counter-tariffs. We announced new counter-tariffs on auto yesterday because we think that it is ultimately the best way to get to a good deal eventually. We're putting maximum pressure on the Trump administration, and at the same time, we are finding off-ramps.
Maximum pressure. I got no choice because, the Trump administration put that maximum pressure on everybody. So you got no, this is, America.
And the only people on earth that will be able to really have President Trump change course are the Americans themselves. And the Americans now understand that tariffs are a tax on them. And we need to make sure, and Europeans need to make sure, that they take that message to the American people in order to influence the U.S. administration. We're willing to partner with the Europeans on that very issue.
Do they? Do they truly understand that? Do they? That was a strong statement there. Do the American people truly now understand that that's a tax on them? So right here we're gonna see just how much of a tax. It says laptops and tablets. Damn, I love laptops. I actually need a new one. It says China, Vietnam, and Taiwan were the top three foreign suppliers of laptops and tablets to the U.S. last year, shipping a total of 47.2 billion worth, according to federal trade data. Almost all consumer electronics, including smartphones and computer monitors, are likely to see price increases. That's not going to be too fun because I feel like phones and laptops and stuff are already expensive. So I mean, whew. It says footwear. China and Vietnam shipped a combined 18.5 billion worth of shoes to the U.S. last year. That's nearly 70% of all shoes the U.S. imported. Toys. China and Vietnam were the top source of foreign toys sent to the U.S. last year, shipping a total of 15 billion worth. The Toy Association estimates that 77% of all toys sold in the U.S. are manufactured in China alone. It's not just an industry that is built to be able to manage through a tariff of that magnitude. Hold up. Yeah, China, whew, it says the U.S. relies heavily on for imported goods, um, are Vietnam, which will face an across the board 46% tariff, and Taiwan, which will be subjugated to a 32% tariff rate. So really I'll be real, looking at over there in Asia, that's where it looked like it's hurting a lot. Obviously with cars and things like that with Canada, but Asia, I mean, it might be an expensive Christmas. This 2025 clothing. I know people love their clothing. If you want to censor just how much apparel the U.S. imports, look no further than the tags on your clothing. And we've all seen those. Made in China. If you're seeing a lot of China and Vietnam printed, rest assured you are not alone. Both shipped about 14 billion worth of apparel to the U.S. last year, the top two source of foreign-made clothes. On top of which, other top sources of foreign apparel, Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, and Cambodia, are also being hit with a reciprocal tariffs. Ooh, they're being hit with reciprocal tariffs ranging from 26 to 49%. Damn, yeah. Damn. Okay, so that's Asia. Okay. All right. What about Canada? We want to hear Canada, though. Trump, Canada, U.S. How would that affect? Oh, that's what I want to see. It says Canada and Mexico leaders take credit for dodging latest U.S. tariffs. So I guess the new ones they've dodged already. Washington's two biggest trade partners still face a host of Okay, so Mexico and Canada. One thing I say, they definitely standing strong. They standing on business. They not they've been showing a lot of strength. They definitely not weak. It says Mexican and Canadian officials spent Wednesday afternoon frantically searching Donald Trump's reciprocal tariff list for the latest bad news from Washington, only to discover they had been granted a reprieve. Okay, so Mexico doesn't have additional tariffs. It says, but Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney, currently on the campaign trail ahead of a general election later this month, cautioned the actions by the U.S. administration, while not specifically targeting Canada, will rupture the global economy and adversely affect global economic growth. So yeah, this is crazy right now. This is one for the history books. Seriously, this is going to the history books for sure. How do I feel about it? Hey, hopefully, honestly, to all my MAGA subscribers, I'm gonna need y'all to get in these comments and explain just how this is going to make us a stronger nation overall. You know, I'm not coming at you guys. I'm like I said, I'm an independent, so don't come on here talking about you liberal. Don't come on here with that. I'm independent, but you know, I'm not too well, when it comes to politics, I'm not into deep into it like that. I just know kind of like the basics of what's going on. So explain to me how this is going to strengthen the nation. And I'll be looking forward to reading that. With that being said, hopefully Canada and U.S. relationships will somehow bounce back. I could see it happening. I could see a news article popping up one day. We never thought this would happen, but it has. Canada and the U.S., we are now allies again. Hey, you never know. Just like we didn't see this coming, right? So with that being said, original link in the description. I'll be back with more. And yeah, school me in those comments respectfully, please, and thank you. And yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy your day.